guys and gals, Johnny Milton here, the artist formerly known as 66 Super Rockstar, and I have returned. Wow, it feels like absolutely ages since I did one of these reviews, you know. It's like, there are multiple reasons why I decided to get back into doing this, but primarily, you know, I just wanted to prove, like, you know, after my Slayer review that, you know, I could do so much better than that, you know, and hopefully in 3 years I've been away now, I've changed so much as a person, you know. Thanks to many wonderful people in my life. Well, there's one very special young lady in particular, Bessa, who will always have a place in my heart, but, you know, essentially all my wonderful family and friends helped me hopefully become the person that I am today. I've greatly been away, you know, I've grown. The last time I did a video was like, I was a naive 16-year-old, so now I'm 19, you know, time has moved on, I've learned so much from all the wonderful support I received from everyone who I'm very blessed to have in my life, you know, and, you know, now it's the time for a new era, a new start. Let's it, guys and gals, the first of my brand new album review series, and I'll also be doing something else extra as well as album reviews, which I'll get to in the an upcoming channel update. So today, guys, we'll be reviewing one of my aspects of one of my favourite types of music ever, which is known as grunge, and we will be reviewing an album called Bricks Are Heavy by a Los Angeles band known as L7. Now, L7 were formed in 1985, and primarily, sorry, I was looking at my laptop to see my notes, and primarily a punk band to start with, which was shown on their 1988 debut album known as L7, and when assigned to Sub Pop Records, which was an emerging grunge label at the time, you know, they released their album Smell the Magic in 1990, which showcased a more like grunge element alongside their punk roots. And it was it showed like sort of like rough and ready band, you know, ready to emerge into something special. And in 1992, Bricks Heavy was released. Now, Bricks Heavy contains 11 tracks. It's only about half an hour long, but you know, it's the only way to start this album review with, like, you know, an amazing CD. So it starts with track 1, which is known as Wargasm. Sorry, I was reading my notes again. It's approximately 2:40 length. It's sort of like a really good, like, fast opening song. Yeah, it contains plenty of distorted guitar throughout, which is a fundamental element of grunge, you know. And that's why I feel L7 really embraced the grunge like aspects on this particular release. Like, you know, there are some elements further on in this album which showcase like a punky direction, like heralding back to their roots, but primarily it's more of a grunge aspect of this album, which I think makes it amazing, you know. And you know, it's a relatively short and sweet song to open the album, but it really hits hard, you know. It's showing that L7, despite being like the underdogs in like a male-dominated genre, that they could prove their worth, you know. It was L7 and Hole, but and Hole was fronted by Courtney Love, which was Kurt Cobain's widow, and I'm not sure if they came after L7 or not, but, you know, L7 were the originators of grunge in females. But yeah, Wargasm, guys, is a really, really good song to start the album, definitely. And then it leads into track 2, which is called Scrap. It's about the song's actually written about the producer, which L7 was producing their debut album with. Like, there was this dude who used to live in their producer's like garage when they were recording the album, which I thought was very punk rock, definitely. And yeah, it's similar to Wargasm. It's like really, really fast, sort of like short song. It's about 2 minutes 54, like just not too much longer than Wargasm. It's around the same length, so yeah, it's kind of similar to Vin. It's like, you know, it's just, there's a bit of variety, you know, on this, you know, particular track in relation to Wargasm. There's sort of like a mini solo, like halfway through, which I think makes the song amazing. But yeah, it's definitely like these first 2 tracks really open the album, which are like short and sweet note, but really hit hard, powerful, and they get their message across perfectly. Then we'll lead into track 3, Do's and Dudettes, which is known as Pretend We're Dead Now. This was the song I first heard on the absolutely amazing classic game known as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas back in the day. I remember buying that game like on Christmas Eve 2004. I was 10 years old at the time. You know, I stuck the game in, put Radio X on, and was like, this music is amazing. So, you know, that game has owed a lot to me, you know, with terms of like developing my taste for this particular genre. But yeah, Pretend We're Dead, guys, it's like the longest, you know, track out of the opening 3. And it's just like, it's more melodic than the other 2 tracks, and it's sort of like a groove. Whereas Wargasm and Scraps are like just like go by and like so quickly. Like Pretend We're Dead just has that groove. It's like wow, it's like, it's definitely one of my favourite songs on the album, guys. You know, it's written about like conformity, you know, like conforming to, you know, to just like what everybody else wants, whereas like instead of like following your own path, which I'm a big believer in, because, you know, I believe in like following your own path in life, like, you know, looking to your influences and just generally being yourself. And I feel if people don't accept you for who you are as a person, then, you know, they're not worth your time nor your effort, because, you know, in life, you know, people like need to look at you for who you are as a person rather than what you're into. If you can, I'm just going off on a completely different tangent here, but anyway, back to Pretend We're Dead. Like, it's just about conformity, like conforming to what, you know, is expected to be the norm. It's like challenging authority, you know, and being something different. It's a real good song, guys, and definitely, you know, the key song from this album. It was the single that propelled, you know, L7 to, you know, greater heights. And yeah, it's really good. I definitely recommend this song for anybody who wants to get into L7. This is like the perfect starting point if anyone wanted to get into the band. Then listen to track 4, guys, which is called Diet Pill. It's another long song, Diet Pill, and it's amazing. I'm actually going to be utilising this song, shall I say, in further aspects as we get further into the series, and I'll be uploading a channel update video which will be put up soon, which will, you know, highlight all my intentions, you know, for my channel now. I've restarted it, rejigged, you know, got into the vibe, got into the zone, you know. I'm ready to do it right this time, one more shot, resurrected and all that stuff, Jeff Hardy style. Oh yeah. But anyway, Diet Pill, guys, it's similar to what Pretend We're Dead, and it starts with a riff that's groovy. You know, well, it's not, it's more slowed down, but it just rocks, you know. As well as that, there is, yeah, it's kind of like, it's got like that solo intake from Scrap, which Pretend We're Dead, it doesn't. But yeah, Diet Pill is similar. Diet Pill is written in a similar relation to Pretend We're Dead, in that, you know, it's a lengthy song, as I mentioned, you know, and it's just really rocks. You know, it's a great listen to it for any, you know, I recommend it for anybody who wants to, you know, get into L7 like I do with Pretend We're Dead. So it's written about a lady who killed her abusive husband and then took off with the kids somewhere. You know, it's typical themes of this album which deal with, like, you know, like angry women, like getting their revenge, which is really cool. Like standing up for what you believe in. I'm a big promoter in standing up for what you believe in. You know, it's really cool. And anyway, guys, move on to track 5, which is called Everglade. As this song actually advertises on the front of the album, you know, as being a key hit, a key song, and I believe it is a key song. Well, you know, every single song on this album is a key song. You know, it's just amazing. But yeah, guys, like track 5, Everglade. It's yeah, it's a bit of a change in style at the beginning. There's more like staccato riffs, kind of like Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix Experience, although, you know, the staccato stands out more on that particular song. Purple Haze is supposed to like Everglade, but, you know, Everglade's really good for doing that, you know. And it's, you know, it's got more, you know, punk influences throughout the song, which was like L7, as I've mentioned, like heritage, like punk rock. So, you know, it's kind of cool that even though the change of the styles accommodate are more like, well, I wouldn't say mainstream on it. Well, I would actually, because grunge had broken into the mainstream near before with the release of Nevermind by Nirvana. Excuse me, Nevermind by Nirvana and 10 by Pearl Jam, which I'll be reviewing soon for you guys. And yeah, it's kind of something like, it's a really good song. And yeah, that's Everglade in a nutshell. But it's sorry, I forgot to mention what it's written about. It's about like a dude who's at a punk rock gig, but is, you know, is instead of having fun, you know, is just like not being responsible. You know, it's about a lady that comes along and just shows him, like, you know, tells him like physically, like, you can't be doing all this stuff at a gig, man. You just got to sit back, enjoy it, you know, enjoy responsibly, you know. And she's just like showing that, you know, it's time to kick his butt and show him what's right. Then move on to track 6, guys, which is called Slide. It's your mid-range song, like your 3 minutes mark, and it's you know, it's got more punk influences. You know, it resembles a mixture of the sound of the rest of the album. I mean, the album flows, which is the great thing about this album, because it flows. You know, even though there's like a variety of different styles on here. The track is really cool because it's not something that many bands can pull off very often. You know, like combine different like styles and like rhythmic changes. You know, while still maintaining a good ebb and flow to the album, which I think makes, you know, Bricks Are Heavy a really good CD. And the song Slide is written in a similar vein to Diet Pilling. It's about a lady who's like really angry and annoyed at just what her husband had been doing, and she's just like, damn, I'm gonna get out here, and she does with aplomb. And track 7, guys, called One More Thing. I'm also gonna be utilising this in further aspects. It's like it's similar length to Pretend with End Diet Pilling. It's like fairly longer than before. And it's a bit different, and it starts with a rhythmic drum beat before I get into some like awesome power chords, but I think they just make the song absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's like, so it's different rhythms to rest it on, but as I've said, like the great thing about this record is it still like ebbs and flows, well, it more flows than ebbs, to be honest, but it's just a great CD, as I've said. And One More Thing really showcases that. And it also has traces of classic rock in there at times, which I think is really cool, because classic rock has been like an influence just about like most rock genres, to be honest. Classic rock's amazing by history. And yeah, One More Thing, guys, is a really, really good song. It's definitely a key song on this album for me personally. I'm going to link a couple of songs in the description of this video to give you guys a glimpse of just why I think this album is so good. And then we move on, guys, to track 8, which is called Mr. Integrity. It's sort of like, how can I describe it? It's like a riff. It like encompasses a couple of bars, like it's struck, and it like lasts a while, lasts a while before like the rest of like the song comes in. And it's got some more staccato in there, which I think is a resemblance to Slide. Yeah, it's cool because it sounds good, and that's the main thing. And it's basically a response to like rock and roll excess. Like, rock and roll's about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, as you all know, but it's more about having fun, like the rock and roll way as opposed to like the drugs, maybe a bit of sex in there, but primarily it's about rock and roll. I think that L7 is spreading a positive message there, because rock and roll fundamentally is about having fun, and there are limits, of course. So yeah, it's a really good song, guys. Definitely enjoy it one a lot. So, and track 9 is called Monster, which I couldn't find like an accurate description for what this song is about like solidly, but where I can gather is it's about like a relationship with like two people like really like strong together, and there's lines like, you bring out the monster in me, which is showing like how like a power on like one person can really just like make it feel so good and stuff. And it's another short song on the album, and it's got more solo work in it, except I think it's like one of the longest like solos on the entire album. So it's just really good, guys, definitely. Monster is, again, like one of my favourite songs. I mean, it's impossible just to pick a favourite song from Star. I mean, they're all good, L7 really struck gold with this release, and yeah, it's really awesome. And then we get on to a song called, track 10 is called Shit List. It's another short, in fact the last 3 songs, guys, starting with Monster up to track 11, are all relatively short, it's kind of like a return to like the beginning of the album, like driving home, the point like quickly, without like, jamming on and on. But to be honest, even the longer songs, as I said, like on this record, guys, don't really like, get boring, but all amazing, and that's what's so brilliant about this release, Anyway, Shit List, it's it's sort of like, it starts with like distorted guitars, there's like a drum count now, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that good stuff. And, it resembles like half a step guitar tuning, which is one of my most favourite guitar tunings of all time. I've written a bit of, original material, oops, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. And, yeah, Shit List, it's, there's more aggressive vocals in here, which kind of resembles like track 2, Scrap, it's good to like punk rock, just like let it all out, and that's why L7, really did rock it, they brought the punk, into grunge, because essentially grunge started out as like a variation of punk rock, because Nirvana released Bleach, which was heavily based around punk rock, so, and yeah, it's about like, Shit List is about, it's kind of like, you see a person, you know, you recognise them, and you don't particularly have any like feelings towards them. You know, not in terms of like friendship, you know, you don't really, you just think they're an arsehole basically. And it's basically like compiling a list of like all the things you hate about a particular person, you know, and then, you know, L7 did that and put into a song, you know, which is probably shown by some lyrics. I mean, as I'll show you guys in a bit in the album, there's a bit from that song that, there's a picture of it, an illustration of a list, which obviously relates to the song Shitlist. It's a really good song, guys, yeah. Like, I can't praise this album enough, to be honest. And we end the album with track 11, which is known as This Ain't Pleasure. It's, you know, as I said, again, another short song, you know, 3 out of 3 short songs to end the album. And it channels, like I said, wargasm and scrap from the beginning to, like, fast, like, short songs to, like, you know, get the ball rolling, get the point across. It's real good drum, you know, real good driving that point home, which is the most important thing in the song, you know. I mean, it's good to like just go on and on and on, but essentially if you're not like driving the point home, then essentially there's no point. But yeah, it shows, yeah, like where grunge came from again, you know, with plenty of like punk influence, you know, as I said, like with Nirvana's Bleach, you know, like Sub Pop records and stuff. They started this whole like grunge phenomenon, which really took over the world in the 90s, and it's something, you know, it's a genre that's close to my heart. And it's definitely a genre I'll be exploring, you know, in depth, because we're getting into this like new album review series, guys. So I hope you join me on this fantastic ride. You know, I'll try my absolute best to you guys, because you guys are all amazing. You know, your support is incredible. You know, you've gotten me so much, and I appreciate it. So I'm very lucky to have such wonderful people like you in my life. You know, you're all amazing. No, thank you. And it's like, yeah, it just shows like our L7, like despite being an all-female band, you know, they can kick ass with like, you know, the males from grunge. You know, in 1992 there's bands like Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, who had all broken, you know, into the, you know, the grunge realm, you know, with respective albums, you know, and L7 did this with Bricks Are Heavy. You know, and as this record is straight 10, you know, it's absolutely fantastic. You know, I'm just blown away every single time. Sorry, I hear this record, you know, it's like, you know, it's just amazing. It's an absolute credit to the grunge catalogue. L7 was comprised of lead vocalist Donita Sparks, who played guitar and did lead vocals in Wargasm, Scrap, Pretend We're Dead, Diet Pill, Mr. Integrity, and Shitlist. Then we had Susie Gardner, who plays lead guitar and does lead vocals on Slide, Monster, and This Ain't Pleasure. And the brilliant thing about L7, guys, is that despite, you know, like different singers on particular songs, you know, the difference isn't all that much, you know, different, which I think great, because as I said, like it really makes the album like flow exceptionally well, which is, you know, amazing. It's the most important thing of any album, to be honest. And then we get Jennifer Finch, who's a bass player and also does lead vocals on tracks 5 and 7, which are Everglade and One More Thing. Yeah, it's just like all the members of this band just like, you know, contributing their vocals, you know, their talents. I think that's really cool, because, you know, most bands rely just primarily on one singer, and I think it's, you know, it's really cool. Like I can get 3 out of 4 members, you know, in a band to like, you know, do lead vocals on like different songs. That's just incredible in like every single way. And then finally we have Dimitra Plakas, I believe, on drums and backing vocals. And the song Pretend We're Dead. So basically the drummers getting on that too. You know, I've seen drummers, you know, singing before, but you know, just have that combination of like every single like member contributing to like the vocals, just incredible. You know, it shows like L7 didn't lack confidence to be able to do something, you know, as challenging as this, because, you know, there's not many bands out there that could like get every single member there to like sing on different songs. That's just like, you know, that's what put L7, you know, ahead of their game, you know, ahead of their competitors. You know, I honestly feel they're better than some of the more male like dominated, you know, bands in grunge. And finally, Butch Vig produced this album. The producer behind, you know, legendary records, such as the album that was released a year prior to this, Nevermind by Nirvana. You know, This dude has produced some amazing records, you know. Butch Vig is just an absolute legend in the producer realm. You know, him and Rick Rubin, for instance, you know, and Bob Rock, minus Metallica St. Anger, you know, they're all amazing producers. And, yeah, guys, I'll show you the artwork if you like old style reviews back in the day. Wow. There's the disc. We see a very sort of like pink with silver effect in it. And we see the inside of the band, you know. We see the artwork which looks like fire, or like something like resembling like two people battling in like a ring of fire or something, like Johnny Cash. Now back we see a picture of the band, you know, where one of the members looks a little bit like Slash. I think it's sort of like distinct image-wise to Guns N' Roses. So that's really cool, because Guns N' Roses, you know, at this time we just released like the Lose Your Illusion set, which, you know, was amazing. Fair enough, not as good as Appetite for Destruction, but, you know, it was still pretty good. And I feel like L7, you know, trying to attempt something like this. I mean, Guns N' Roses were punk rock, you know, even though with, you know, a more like a hard rock base, you know, Guns N' Roses image-wise were punk rock. And I think that's L7 really cool for copying that, you know. So, and then we step inside, we see lots of different illustrations. I think there's something in here which resembles, you know, the shit list mentioned, like it being a list built. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but, you know, I'm trying my best, like, because the first time I used my flip cam in ages, so hopefully the quality won't be too bad. Yeah, guys, this has been my first review back. Thank you very much for having me. You know, I've tried my very best, and you know, hopefully, you know, there'll be better reviews coming in the future. But it's just been absolutely amazing to get back, you know, to you guys, because, you know, I've been wanting to do this quite a while. You know, because, you know, as I've said, like that Slayer review series, that just like it just wasn't meant to be. Unfortunately, you know, it got taken the wrong way. You know, I was trying to inform people about music, but obviously in some circles, you know, it got taken the wrong way. You know, just the fail and about the sausage rolls, and, you know, we don't want to go into all that again. Yeah, guys, thanks very much for checking out my first review of L7's Bricks Are How I Am. Hope you enjoy it, and there'll be plenty more videos coming in the future from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see y'all later. Stay strong forever.